So hello everyone. I'm Kirtideva Peruman, mostly known as Deva. I'm a holistic life coach who lives in New Zealand, and today I have the lovely Katerina, who is an evolutionary coach, but I think she will tell you more about herself in a bit. The purpose of this discussion today is just to share behind the scenes of the author and the book process and to give a preview of our chapter because we are co authors for the upcoming book called Inspired Creators. We will give you a link later at the end of this recording, so please bear with us for the next 15 to 30 minutes and we will have a lovely chat with Katerina. So, just a brief background about herself. Katerina is an evolutionary life coach, quantum healer, transformational leader who connects you with to your universal life light energy. She's a crystal light bed and Reiki practitioner and energy worker. Her knowledge and connection shall assist you in discovering your own unique connections. She is the owner and founder of Be Your True Self, with her spiritual Blue Down teams. And I can tell you, for I have been following her for a while now on her Facebook page, and I can tell you it helps you to become your true self. So before we go, keep on speaking. I will leave the floor to Katerina for her to introduce herself and tell us more about herself. So there you go.
Hi, nice to be here with you, Deva. And it's such an honor to be part in the book with you, Inspired Creators. Right, it's an amazing book, and the energy of all the authors is just incredible. Yes, I'm an evolutionary life coach, quantum healer, and transformational leader, and I have the knowing and the ability to connect you to your higher self, so you can establish a everyday relationship with your higher self, so you can integrate and download your wisdom and knowledge from your universe, from your light energy and your light codes. I'm also the founder and owner of Be Your True Self, where I give my clients a safe place to reconnect, to learn more about themselves, to learn about how they are worthy of connecting to their universe, the invisible world, without the fear and judgment. My skills are Reiki Master, I'm a light language specialist, and crystal light bed healer. And all these are my tools to connect to my universal life energy. So I've been connected for over 28 years. I was mentored by a celestial family who taught me how to feel worthy of being human in this world, in these current state of being, right? It's up and down, and we're all trying to find our way through the mazes of our own internal heart space. The journey, the evolutionary journey, is all about unraveling your ideas, unraveling the negative energies, as I call it, the things that don't match, the things that don't want to be part of your life anymore at any given moment. And my chapter, A Beautiful Messy Creation, is all about demystifying the fact that you're going to have a wonderful time every time. So it's all about knowing that when you go into your nothingness, where you start your creation, you're going in there without the light. So you need to venture into the nothingness, knowing that you need to trust your intuition, first of all, and trust that everything will come along to help you bring more light into the idea or the inspiration that you want to create. And what's important is, which is part of, I'll read you a little chapter from the little from my chapter, and most importantly, the wisdom keeper in me will share with you that it's okay to move through your life, discovering at each turn what your purpose is, because it will always change until you have uncovered so much more than you know at any given moment. Now, my celestial family always say to me when I'm feeling that where there's restrictions or limitations of sorts, or it just doesn't feel like it's not going to unravel, they always say to me, in this given moment, you are more than you know, and you must trust that it will unravel into a beautiful creation of what you wish to manifest. But we need patience, right? We need patience. We need diligence. We need that quiet moment. We need to understand that no matter what's going on externally, within us is that quiet place and that place of creation. And so there's a part of me that's the teacher, right? And that little teacher of me comes out and wants to help everybody understand the universal life energy, and to understand it with the eyes of authenticity, without to demystify the idea that, there's always love and light when there isn't. So the creation is created from that place that you can't see, right? Wouldn't you agree? So my chapter really is a transmission from my understanding of my universal messy creation. So when you read my chapter, I invite you to read it with your heart, for there is much that the mind may not comprehend, but your heart will, right? So your intuition will go, oh yeah, that's how I felt yesterday, or something like that, right?
A few months back.
Yeah, you have your aha moments,
Yeah.
Allow my words to activate you so you can go to deepen into your own soul mission, so that more and more individuals can become inspired creators. So inspired creators is so many layers, when you agree, because you're the creator, right? And you need to come from a place where you have understood your creation. So my chapter is all about allowing yourself to know that it's okay to be messy. It's okay to have a day where you just can't write anymore, or you don't have the idea, and that listening to your intuition or your universe that says to you, okay, time to have a break now, and take yourself to into another place, whether that's out the backyard under a tree, or in my case, I went to a coffee shop. And while I was at that coffee shop, it's in the chapter, I was I was there on my own having a cup of coffee, and an elderly lady sat with me that had seen me there for, she goes there too, right? So she sat with me, and at that time I was feeling discouraged. I didn't know what else to write on my chapter. I had a block of sorts. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to continue with my business, because the creation of everything just got too messy and too disheartening, right? So I sat down to have a cup of coffee, and this lady sat with me, and she just looked at me and said, "You're the lady that keeps us safe."
Wow.
Now, yeah, that was just so profound for me, Diva, because it was like the universe saying to me, "Don't give up, keep going. You're creating something that you don't fully understand yet, and it's okay to feel disheartened, but know that at this given moment, you are more than you know."
Yeah.
And I just looked at her, and at that moment, I just felt the significance of it, right? The significance of, I'm inspiring the etheric energetics of our human consciousness. So people are feeling that I am doing something,
Yeah.
whether I feel it or not, right, at any moment. And I looked at her and I said, yes, I do help people in their messy times. And she said, well, aren't I lucky to have you be sitting with me today? So that was my little push, well, big push really, to come back and write the rest of my chapter. And I'm very proud of my chapter because this is my third chapter, so I'm very proud
Incredible.
about that. Yes.
Yeah. This is
But
incredible.
I feel, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel this one is the best one out of the three.
Wow.
So what so my chapter also you need to open your heart to go down into the dimensional aspects of yourself. Just allow
Mm.
yourself to feel the energy,
Yeah.
because it's the intuition, right? The GPS of our intuition that wants us to feel a certain thing at any given moment.
Yeah. The inner
Yeah.
teacher, like you said earlier. There's so many things that I want to like. Yes, tell us more. But we don't want to give away, so much
No, we
of the
don't.
chapter because they need to go and buy the book, right? The audience right now
Right.
listening, you need to
Yes.
go on the 11th of November on our launch
Yes.
day and go and buy the book Inspired Creators. But there's one thing I
Yes.
want to pick on right now, and just what you said earlier, like our messiness. I love that word because I love that we are acknowledging that what we are going through is a messy times, a messy life sometimes, and we feel we're
Yeah.
on this spiritual journey and it feels like it should be a straight line, but it's not. We all know that
Yeah.
now. And however, you said you mentioned a word called patience and also another word, diligence, right? So can you just briefly tell us more about how people can cultivate patience or diligence on this journey, in this messiness?
Okay. Yes. Well, what can I offer you is that within your quiet moment, you'll find your patience.
Mm,
And within that patience, you'll suddenly find the energy to just keep going and be diligent about what your goal is, whether it's manifested or not. So, patience is found within your quiet, understanding your silence of where you are at any given moment. Knowing that when you wake up, when you open your eyes or having your awakening, you're going to see something so beautiful that you'll be in awe of your own messy creation.
mm. That's beautiful. Like, people can. There's so much in there, like you said, it's deep. It's very deep, and like you said, like anyone, I feel like going to read that book, they need to read it with open heart because there are so many lessons
Yes.
from various authors, and there are many gifts, right, given by the authors in this book. So, what is your gift
Yeah.
to the audience right now? What is the gift?
Okay. So my gift is I gift you a 30-minute session with me, and I will unblock one strand of energy that's keeping you from fully experiencing your highest self.
Mm.
And, you know, come
So
with the
right,
open heart and mind.
yeah. So right
Yeah.
now, maybe some people are listening and watching the video, and they're saying, Katerina, I don't know about my higher self, right? So how can you explain that in a simple terms? How can we help that so that they can connect with you?
Sure. Your highest self is that part of you that has all your wisdom and understanding and past life, future life, everything about yourself that you require to have in this life so you can expand and create something beautiful in your life. So, your highest
Hmm.
self, you communicate with your highest self every day, whether you know it or not, by intuition, by feelings, by speaking to another person, because your higher self does use other people to communicate to you. Your higher self is simply your grandest light that you have agreed to integrate into this current life to help you bring more understanding and clarity into your own everyday life. It's
Okay.
beautiful, really. Yeah.
I feel it's a download right now that you have just received. It's one of your many skills, receiving that
Yeah.
message. And thank you for sharing that. And when they're going to read your chapter, right? How the
Yeah.
like what are the main themes you feel that they will connect with the audience?
That's a really good question, because my chapter and many of the other chapters, it's so multi-layered. But what you will connect with, if you allow yourself, is your authentic intuition, how you're feeling at that moment when you're reading my chapter. Are you crying with me? Are you laughing with me? Are you understanding that you might be in a messy situation as you're reading it, but somewhere among that, I've come along and just like a match opened the light, and just showed you a glimpse of the wonderful creation that you will create from your messiness. My wish is for you to open your heart and just read the words and allow your higher self to give you what you need to know at that given moment when you read my
Mm,
chapter. But thank you for reading it. I do believe it's the best one, the one so far that
yeah.
I've written.
So, just before we go further down, like being an author of the third book, right? It's your third
Yeah,
book coming out.
yeah.
How was
I know, right?
how was this experience? I bet people listening right now, they feel, oh, there are so many books within me. But I don't know where to start, how to start. What is like the advice you have to them so that they can become like inspired creators like we did, like we created the magic
Oh,
in that book.
yeah. Well, first of all, there's never a right moment. So when I met Crystal the very first time, it was the universe. Suddenly we're on Zoom and having a conversation about writing a chapter. And at the time, I thought, oh, how will somebody read it? Because they're normal feelings. You always ask, is somebody going to read it? Am I going to find the words to create? What I want to encourage you to do is take a big breath and know that when you say yes to your creation of writing a chapter, the words will come to you, and you will be very proud of yourself knowing that somebody in the world somewhere is going to read your chapter, and you're going to inspire them to take the next step. And that's how Crystal helped to make me feel.
Mm,
And so, and each chapter has its own, own conditions. Like, I'm always nervous about it. You always get nervous about it. You always get a little, um, you know, I have to sit and be still and think, well, I am worthy of writing this another chapter, because each chapter is different. And this particular chapter, I volunteer and go down my rabbit holes to find the connection that would help somebody who reads it, right? That's just my life. That's what I do. And so I encourage you to take a moment and speak to Crystal about writing a chapter,
mm,
because she will give you the support that you need, and because she
mm.
gave me valuable support throughout the whole experience. And I'm excited about somebody reading my chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can vouch for that because Crystal Healy, guys, if you're listening, she's the publisher of our publisher, and we have been really blessed to have her with us.
Yeah.
Every single week we had calls supporting us, and you never felt alone, right? Even during that
Right.
process of writing. And this is a journey, right? So now that your third book is coming out, right? What have you got next? What's coming next for you? And tell people, where can they find you? Like, where can they
Okay.
connect with you?
Sure. My website is beyourtrueselfkaterina.com. I'm on Facebook, Be Your True Self Katerina. What's next for me? Well, I don't know. Let's see what unveils itself from this creation. Like, I don't, I like to be surprised. Well, I would like to be surprised. What's next for me? Just to keep going with my business, Be Your True Self. I have many services and health products and all that. I have lots to offer to the world. And that's always a good question, isn't it, Deva? What are we going to do next? Well,
Yeah.
my universe, my Blue Diamond team, I'm sure has already got something in store for me.
Mm,
I just trust my intuition that the next step will be as beautiful as this step. So
yeah.
that's how I answer these questions.
I know, right? Like, we always ask ourselves, we always project ourselves in the future, like we always ask people about, like, what's your 5 year plan? What's your 10 year plan? Or what's your 1 year? Like, we're just 2 months away from this year ending, and we are already thinking about next. But I find this question, what's next? Like, what's the next step you can take? And you leave it to your team, like you call the spiritual Blue Diamond team, which I love that name. And you're leaving it open to the universe, and it's just guidance, like
Yeah.
pure guidance. Yeah.
Well, what's next? I learn to trust myself even more every day. I learn to embrace what what is offered to me. I trust my intuition to know that it will be for my highest good, because I have always had this inner drive, knowing that
Mm,
no matter what happens outside of me, my inner drive takes me to the next step. So, I'd like to think that I'd write another chapter in another book somewhere along the line.
mm,
My goal is to write my own book. So that will be
nice.
my next big project.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Well, you just have put it out there, like the guys are saying, yes, they are jumping up and down right now, I bet. You found your
yeah, they've
next
been,
project, right? So we are all looking
yeah,
forward to that, Katerina. And for our
it'll
listeners,
be,
like, yeah, please go for the
yeah,
book. And I bet, like Katerina said, read her chapter or any chapter with open heart, I would suggest. Be open
yeah,
to the day. And maybe if you're having a tough day, maybe just open that chapter. Just go through a
yeah,
page. Just one word can change your day. Like, just
that's
one
right.
one thing, one line can change your day, right? So on that, no, you want to say something, Katerina?
I
If
was
it's
just going to say, these books, these co-author books with these amazing authors in this book that we're in, the best way to treat this book too is like what you're saying. If you're having a messy moment, just take a breath and open the book at a particular page, and your higher
Mm,
self will take you to the page or the chapter that you need to read as well. I mean,
yeah,
you know, everybody goes somewhere, don't they? So
yeah,
share, let people know about what our book inspired creators. I'm very proud, very honored to be part of this book and to be with you too, Deva, and all the other
thank you.
authors. And wishing you all a wonderful, messy creation.
Thank you. Well, Katerina, I would love to say that I'm very honored to be part of this co-author book with you. I had a lovely chat with you. I still remember it, and
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to have more chat with you. It has been lovely to with you today. And for everyone listening, please go on crystalhealy.org slash buy book inspired creators. Go on that website, join our waiting list. You will get notified when the book is coming out. And please buy the book and share it with the world, because our purpose here is to share our light with the world, and you have it through many forms through our co-authors, which I have been honored to interview. Like, it's been a pleasure to listen to them. I just wanted to go further down the track, but we don't want to keep you on this video. Like, go to the next one and buy the book. So thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, Katerina, for your time.
Thank you.
It's been lovely having you on there on this video and this interview as well. So thank you. Please, guys, go and buy Inspired Creators. Thank you. Light to you.
Thank you.